Okay, the very beginning of semester, you remember I talked about tissues. There are four different type of tissues, and we should have them in here, but we'll talk about it. Okay, the first one, this is squamous epithelial tissue, okay, cuboidal epithelial tissue, and columnar epithelial tissue. During your exam, if you write on simple squamous, that's all fine, it's okay. Okay, but they're not actually within other organs. So whatever you write down, this is squamous, columnar, cuboidal. You guys see that? A neuron. Okay. Again, I don't like this model because they cut the axon away from cell body. So this is the axon right here, and then this is myelin sheath around it, node of Ranvier, and the nucleus of the node of Ranvier, Schwann cell. This is Schwann cell. Of course, this is axon. You remember we talked about this. This is myelin sheath. What is the name of the cell? Schwann cell. What is the name of structure? Myelin sheath. Okay. What is the name of structure? A piece of tape like this one. It's a node of Ranvier. What is the name of the entire structure? Cell body. Nucleus. Dendrites. These are axon terminal from presynaptic neuron. Am I making some sense? Axon terminal from presynaptic neuron. So this would be a postsynaptic neuron. Okay. Again, cell body, dendrites, cell body, nucleus, which was gone. You have the Schwann cell, of course, the nucleus of Schwann cell, myelin. This is all myelin sheath. And then the gray is the axon, this right here. So you come to axon knob, axon terminal, muscle, and of course this junction here is neuromuscular junction. Same as this one. This is a neuromuscular junction. This is axon knob right here. Skeletal muscle, nucleus on the periphery. All of this is skeletal muscle. And if you look at the cross section, you see the nuclei on the periphery of the cell. In the middle, you do not have any nuclei. Do I make sense, everybody? So that's skeletal, and you can see the striation. Smooth muscle, no striation. And the nucleus, one nucleus per cell in the middle of the cell. Here, one cell has many nuclei on the periphery. Cardiac muscle, okay? Intercalated disc, of course, there is striation. They have nuclei in the middle of the cell. The cells, some of them are branched, some of them are straight. Cardiac muscle. Then we left the tissues. We went to skin. This is integumentary system, epidermis, dermis, subcutaneous. Hair follicle, sebaceous gland, erector pili, smooth muscle. Okay. Molecule keratin, keratinized, tissue, keratinized, stratified, squamous, epithelial tissue, dense irregular connective tissue. Molecule keratin. Do not worry about blood vessels and nerves, anything else here. Okay, do not worry about anything else here. What tissue? It is fat, adipocytes tissue. Bone. This is an osteon. Okay. Here, then you have several osteon. Am I making some sense? This is compact bone, spongy bone, and bone marrow would be here. Am I making some sense? So, central canal, perforating canal. That's all you have to know for that model. This model, central canal, no perforating canal in this model. Am I making some sense? Osteocytes, canaliculi. This white area here, that's matrix. In here, the blue is osteocyte. The orange is lacuna. You remember we talked about that? And then matrix, and these are your canaliculi. Do I make sense? And then, of course, one ring is lamella. I don't know if I ever asked that. But anyhow. eye. Okay, so the sclera, is that right? The hard portion of the eye, they're very tough. Cornea, lens underneath, you move it, you do surgery. Vitreous humor. Oh, I forgot, sorry. You have, couple of structures. You have the iris, pupil, the opening. You all know what I'm talking about. The opening is pupil, iris, then choroid layer, very vascularized. Underneath of choroid right here, there's still a blood vessel in there. That is your retina. And then optic nerve, it takes the image to the brain. We're going to go over that. And there is one, they call it central fovealis or central fovea, and that has a lot of cones. There are no rods in here. There are no rods in here. Most of the rods in your eye are under here and here. Okay, so at night you can see better, of course. Okay, so brain, parts of the brain, frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, temporal lobe, cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. You can see that, pons, medulla oblongata. Okay, the blood, this is the monocyte, lymphocyte. They both are agranulocyte. Lecture information. These three musketeers, neutrophil, basophil, and eosinophil, red blood cells. They are 2.5 times of red blood cell. These three. Okay. This one is almost same size, and then lymphocyte and nucleus fills up most of the cell, same size. This monocyte is 3 times of red blood cell, and the nucleus is C-shaped. Heart. 4 chambers, 4 blood vessels, 4 valves. 4, 4, 4, right? 3, 4, 12 structures in here. The first one is vena cavas, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. You guys see what I'm talking about? I consider them as one blood vessel. The 4 blood vessels, these 2 are considered as one. Superior vena cava. Then you have superior from upper portion of your heart. This is from anything below your heart, your toe, your intestine. They all dump, kidney, all dump the blood here. Okay, then the other one, aorta, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. So 4 blood vessels. The 4th chamber, right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. The apex of the heart is on the left ventricle. Okay, then the 4 valves. Right here, it is right atrioventricular valve. Left, it was broken. It's not here anymore. Somebody took it. Left atrioventricular valve. Okay. Then you have pulmonary. You remember this? Pulmonary artery, pulmonary semilunar valve. Aorta, pulmonary semilunar aortic semilunar valve. Sorry, aortic semilunar valve, pulmonary semilunar valve, aortic semilunar valve, right atrioventricular valve, left atrioventricular valve. This is left side of your heart. If this is in your body, it is just like this in your body. Your heart is as big as your fist. Okay, my heart is this big, and it's sitting in my heart body like that, and the apex is that way. Okay, so this is right side of my heart, this is left side of my heart. Am I making some sense? Kidney. Layer, cortex, medulla. 2 layers. Then you have minor calyx, minor calyx, minor calyx, major calyx, major calyx, renal pelvis, ureter. They cut up a section of the kidney and they enlarge it for you. That's what this is. This is the entire kidney. This is just a segment. Am I making some sense, everybody? So cortex, just like this, cortex, medulla. In the cortex, you have Bowman's capsule, all over the white. Inside of Bowman's capsule, these are your glomerulus. So attached to the Bowman's capsule, this is proximal convoluted. You see how convoluted it is? Proximal convoluted tubule goes to loop of Henle, to medulla. Loop of Henle. This is all loop of Henle. Comes back to distal convoluted tubule. From distal convoluted tubule to collecting duct. From collecting duct to minor calyx. From minor calyx to major calyx. From major calyx to renal pelvis to ureter, bladder, urethra out. Okay? Then here, glomerulus, right? Simple squamous epithelial tissue, Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, renal artery, renal arteries here, renal veins here, afferent arteriole, efferent arteriole. Okay, it's supposed to be, afferent arteriole, efferent arteriole. Afferent is part of juxtaglomerular apparatus. Afferent arteriole, efferent arteriole. Arrive, afferent, exit, efferent. Am I making some sense? A, E, glomerulus, simple squamous epithelial tissue, simple cuboidal epithelial tissue, simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. Intestine. Villus, structure, villus. Tissue, simple columnar epithelial tissue. Of course, capillaries, blood vessels inside, and this is lacteal, the fat, large fat molecules we eat. It's absorbed through here and it goes to lacteal, and lacteal take it to the lymphatic system. Mucosa layer, submucosal layer. In the submucosal layer on this model, you have two things on your slides. You don't have both of them on the one cut. They're a different cut. Okay, this one you didn't see it on a microscope, but make sure you look at the slides and you find this one. This is lymph node to protect you. This is, they call them duodenal gland. These are duodenal gland. Okay, it's found in duodenum. Muscularis layer, submucosal layer, muscularis layer, mucosal layer, muscularis layer, smooth, circular, smooth muscle, longitudinal, smooth muscle. Make sure you look at the slides for these guys. Okay, digestive system. Handsome. Okay, so you have the trachea, epiglottis right here. I want you to know that. Epiglottis is a flap of cartilage, made up of cartilage. When you're eating, it closes right here, so food does not go to your trachea. Okay, food goes to esophagus. You do have slide of this, microscopic slide of that. From esophagus goes to stomach. All of these folds in the stomach, you see all of those folds called rugi or rugi, right? These folds, when you eat food, these folds disappear. Okay, so this is like an empty stomach now. But when your stomach is full, then those folds, they go away. Duodenum, right at the beginning. This is duodenum. Small intestine, large intestine, ascending, transverse is missing, descending, anus. Liver, gallbladder. Then you have cystic duct. You need these later on. Cystic duct, hepatic duct. These on top from liver. Liver makes bile. It stores in gallbladder. People remove the gallbladder, it still function. So cystic duct, hepatic duct, common bile duct. I hope I'm making some sense. And then of course, in here, I forgot to mention this. This is renal artery. It comes from aorta. This is a branch from aorta. And this is renal vein. It goes to vena cava, inferior vena cava. That's all you have to know.